Hello YouTube. Today's oceans hold many secrets. In fact, 95% of the ocean's bottom has not yet been explored. Today let's talk about one of the mysteries that you can find down below. And there are many. I dedicated my book about USOs that I wrote with Phil Mantle to the Soviet and Russian encounters and sightings of unidentified submersible subjects. But it's not only USOs down there. Almost half a century ago, in 1976, American oceanographer Peter Rona, he made a discovery that changed his life. He studied photographs taken a few weeks earlier by the camera mounted on a special trolley towed along the bottom of the Atlantic at a depth of more than 3 kilometers by the ship of the Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of the National University of the United States. And something interesting suddenly attracted attention of the scientist. In some of these photographs, and there were about 100 of them, strange rows of holes were captured. At first, Rana thought it was some kind of a joke, because it looked like hexagonal honeycomb. But the scientists knew from childhood that there are no underwater bees, and the images looked very real. As soon as the joke was eliminated, so to say, Rana contacted the best marine biologists that he could find, but none of them could explain the nature of the strange honeycombs. In 1978, Rona and his colleague George Merrill published a paper in which they described the structures found down below as invertebrates of indeterminate origin. Well, this article came into the hands, so to say, of German paleontologist Adolf Zeilacher, an expert on ancient fossils, and he identified them without any doubt with one of the ancient formations, Paleodictyon nodosum. Paleodictyon fossils are found in layers of sediments from the Precambrian to the Eocene. That is, they are between 520 and 35 million years old. These are small tunnels or ridges forming hexagonal or polygonal networks, similar to honeycombs of more or less regular shape. The size of individual cells ranges from a few millimeters to several centimeters, and the entire fossil can occupy an area of up to a square meter. The ridges forming the network have a circular or elliptical cross-section. Sometimes vertical tubes with a hole at the top are found. The species Paleodictyon nodosum, discovered by Zeilacher himself in the rocks of Spain in the year of 1950 and later found elsewhere in Europe, dates back to the Eocene, and its most recent fossils form fairly regular hexagons. However, it was thought to have become extinct 35 million years ago. An agitated German scientist, Zeilacher, frantically breaking a pencil, wrote to Rona that he offered cooperation in studying the find. But at first nothing worked out because exploring the seabed is not a cheap leisure, and funding could not be found immediately. But everything changed when in 1985, Rona discovered hydrothermal vents in the mid-Atlantic ridge, and as if by magic, funds were found for these studies. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Rona was able to explore the site of his discovery several times. Located just over a kilometer from the ridge, using the Alvin underwater manned vehicle, the one that had explored the Titanic in 1990, 1991, 1993, 2000, and 2003. Rana managed to photograph thousands of hexagons. The largest of them had a diameter of several centimeters. Some formations had 200 or 300 holes. The scientists also tried to catch an animal that could be inside the honeycomb. To do this, he extracted sediment from it using a hollow plastic tube, but nothing was ever found. No animals, no plants, no biological traces. In 2003, the researcher managed to direct a jet of water onto one of the hexagons to remove dirt from it. After that, something very interesting was discovered at the bottom of the honeycomb, a tunnel identical to those found in the Paleontological nodosum fossils. Scientists have observed and collected similar structures near many underwater ridges of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, but no biological remains have been found, and therefore they cannot come to a consensus about their nature. Zilleker's position on this issue was as follows: hexagons are burrows, a kind of farm where some kind of animal similar to a worm grows its own food or catches it with the help of these holes. Rana believed that it was just a fossil of the body of some animal, perhaps a sponge or Xenophiophora, a giant protozoan unicellular organism that can reach 20 centimeters in diameter and looks like a sponge. Indeed, the internal tunnel formations are similar to the structure of sponges. But if this were animal remains, one would expect to find at least a trace of DNA inside. However, the DNA found corresponds to different types of living creatures in different hexagons, which suggests that they came from somewhere outside, although one of the DNA found corresponds to the Foraminifera van Hoffenella, which builds similar hexagonal structures. Rana explained the absence of biological remains by the fact that after the death of an animal, predatory microbes devour it, and the structure persists for hundreds of years before it is buried by sediments. This mystery still remains unsolved, and neither Rana nor Zilleker lived to see the outcome. They both died in 2014, 2 months apart. Such is this mysterious story. Who is actually crawling on the ocean floor? We don't fully understand at this point. Therefore, pay attention to where you swim. I am sure there are limitless discoveries down below that can enrich us, modern medicine as well, and all other aspects also of different sciences. So all we need to do is to stay tuned. I'll bring you updates as soon as I can. If you like my research, please kindly support me through the links you'll find in description to this video. Please like my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.